Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to the second vlog for Caravan Carpers. It's just me, Lee, today. No Luke. He's not come. He's been working quite a bit, so family commitments have stopped him coming. But I'll post you a little video of what my little lad sings to him when he can't go fishing, which is quite funny. We do have a bit of a laugh, to be honest. We get on really well, so we just pretty much terrorise each other constantly. Hopefully you'll get to see some of that in our future videos. So just a quick note, anybody who comments on this video, I'm giving away one of the free numbers on my raffle that I've got on my Caravan Carpers Facebook page. So if anybody's interested, comment below. To be honest, give me some feedback, positive feedback, please. Obviously, if anything that gets on your nerves or you don't like or whatever, then just say it. At the end of the day, I can only change what I can change. My angling's mediocre at best, but I'm learning, and there's nothing worse out there than being a beginner and not being able to ask the questions without being ridiculed. So hopefully I'd like to cover quite a lot of stuff about beginner carp fishing within my angling and what I've learned over the times and what to buy and bits and bobs like that, because it's really confusing at first when you start carp fishing. Just a bit about where I am today. So I am at Baden Hall. I'm on Bridge Pool. All 10 swims are full. There's 5 of us turning up today. 5 people who have been on since Friday. I'm hoping with the wind that I end up down peg 10 end. I've never fished the lake. Looked on social media, nothing seems to have been coming out, so it's fishing hard, but you've got to be in it to win it. You've got to be here with a rig in the water to catch something. And to be honest, I don't mind blanking if I have to blank, because I quite enjoy just being out. I love being out in the open and the fresh air and having a brew at 6 o'clock in the morning when the mist is coming up while you're watching for shows and that. Can't beat it, really. Best thing about angling, really. Just a quick note as well, if anybody's after any bait or looking for a new bait company, Pompig's Boilies, which is a team that I'm part of, they've currently got 20% off on their Black Friday deal, which is mega, really good bait. I've been using it now for 12 months. Lockdown Plum's my favourite, and Crabuna, that's another good bait. But have a look at that. Also, Carp UK have got 35% off in their Black Friday deal till Black Friday, basically. So if you're looking for your terminal tackle and stuff like that, get that nice and cheap over there, to be honest. And it's just as good as the Corda stuff. I don't use the entire range because I've got a lot of tackle already that I've built up over years. You know what it's like in your tackle box. So it's getting through that, and then I'll start to swap over to more Carp UK stuff. And the final plug, it's shameless this really actually, but I might as well do it, and I've got to do it really. It's only fair because it's what I use. Carbon baits, they've got mega deals on at the minute. 19 quid I think you can get most particles delivered now for 20 kilos. 20 kilos for 19 quid, a lot of their particle range. Can't grumble with that, to be honest. And if anybody fishes with particle, like I used to cook a lot of my own particle, but now I just tend to buy there. I've got a double chest freezer full of particle at the minute. I like their CO2 nutty mix, so if you're on a venue that you like a nutty mix, that's bang on. I highly recommend trying that. But for today, there is no nuts here at Baden Hall, so I'm going to I'm just going to use basic hemp and maize and add maggots to it. And I've got Lockdown Plum that I've basically softened. It's been in a bucket of water for 2 days. It's gone nice and mushy. I've mushed that in with maggots, hemp and maize and Lockdown Plum. Right, so I'll go and get the draw and see how I get on, and then I'll come back to you. Right, so I've done the draw and I'm not in the area that I want to be. I've actually got peg 1. Peg 1, it's not peg, it's a swim, match fishing mode. I'm in swim 1. Wind's howling down into there, which not really what I wanted. But the people that have been on since Friday, obviously they've been down far. I think they're on like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or something like that. No, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As you'd expect with the way the wind's been blowing. Forecast a bit of rain in a bit, so might get a little bit wet, but no, we'll see how we get on. Never been here before, so looking forward. Right guys, so I've finally managed to get set up. Had a bit of a nightmare before, but that I forgot my net. But massive shout out to Baden Hall and the bailiff for dropping me off a net. Like a muppet, I had everything drying in the garage. Thought I'd hang it all out, get it all nice and dry. Obviously prevents the spread of disease and stuff like that. And like a tit, I left me landing net hung up and left it at home, so buzzing that they brought me on because I thought I was going home at one point. Just to let you know then, so I've got 3 rigs out at the minute. Obviously you're allowed 3 rods beyond the 1st of November here at Baden. And I'll just give you a little show of where I've got them. So if you can see the tree, they've got 2 trees there, so I've got one right in the middle of the tree, and then I've also got one slightly to the right, so probably got about 6-8 foot of a spot out there that I've got. Put a little bit of carbon baits, hemp and maize out of there with maggots and lockdown plum pond pigs boilies that I've crumbed up into like a paste, a bit like how if you watch the sipography video of Tom Maker, he does it on that, and I've become a fan of that, so that's what I like to do as well. And then the final rig is over there. My reason for putting it over there is I've been watching the birds, and a few of the birds have been sat there. I'm not really where I want it to be honest. I want it to be at the other end of the lake because we've got a southwesterly wind blowing in here, and as it's winter I'd prefer to be on the back of the wind than on the front of it. So I'm basically stuck here, so there's nothing I can do about that. But I've not seen any shows. I've been here for probably since 11 o'clock-ish I believe now, and not seen anything so far, but I'll have a look. I've had a walk around the back of the bank, so I've mooched and checked all the way around in the edge here. Can't see anything, to be honest, can't see any clear spots and that, but it's been really windy. So the water's nice and choppy, so if it does calm down at some point and it's not too dark, I'll go for another mooch later on. As it stands at the minute, I've just chucked out a single Ronnie rig with a pink dom, it's called. It's like a 14mm barrel made by pond pigs. And then I've got 2 solid bags, 2 really small DESP micro size bags. They're not much bigger than a method feeder would be in match fishing. Chucked 2 of them out on the spot of my bait spot, just so I know if there is any little bits of weed, then my hook's presented well, and we'll see how we do. Well, it's starting to rain, so I'm going to make myself a brew now, and I'll come back to you shortly. Thank you. Right, just going to talk about the rigs that I'm using today. 2 on a solid bag, micro size solid bag, 3 ounce lead, long tail rubber, Carp UK lead free leader. Spliced loads of these up, it's nice and cheap. If anybody's interested in any of the components, most of the components I'm using are by Carp UK, and they've got a massive 35% off at the minute, so get yourself over there and get some of that. What I tend to do with, obviously when attaching my rig to my main line, a lot of people, for ease and speed, they'll use a solid, like a loop to loop, to put their solid bag leader or whatever they're using, or lead free leader, onto the main line. What I tend to do is a Palomar knot. It's just as quick. Whip it through, put the main line through, back through itself, tighten to a loop, drop the bag through, pull it tight. Just make sure you tighten it down evenly, because you can get like a little riding loop in it, but other than that, I find that's the best way of doing it. And the reason I do that is because I always feel when I've got a loop, I tend to use bigger bags in summer when I've got a loop on it. I feel like it's just a messy connection between your bag and your leader, and I worry that if it's not fully tensioned or you're not fishing too tight, then that might stick up off the bottom. Whether it does or not, it'd be worth to see, but it's just the things that you have confidence in that you use. Inside there is one from a bag that I chucked out earlier. That's been reeled back in, but all it is, it's turbo German style. I like to do it. Wafter on there, small wafter, and it's supple braid hook link, short length for that. Goes to a wide gape hook, a bit of shrink tube for like a kicker. It's I tie it like a knotless knot, but then trim the hair off, apply a little small see-through bead, and then I've got a micro rig ring swivel, and that goes to use floss then to attach my bait. That's my solid bag rigs that I'm using, tend to use most of the time. This is an older rig I've got, and I don't tend to use that much of the boom, but I thought I'd use these this time. I know it's nice and resetting, and also I was a bit worried that there was some crayfish in here. Looking at what I've seen on other videos, not had no bleeps, and I've not had no marks in any of my bait, so it is winter, so they're not as active, but they still are active, and if they're in here I'd have expected to have had some chunks out of my bait when I've brought them back in. But just your standard spinner swivel, short length of boom. I like to have a bigger loop on the end, which gives you quite a bit of movement in your rig when it's sat on the bottom, and obviously when the fish comes up from behind and sucks it up. Bait screw I'm using this time, and the hook bait of choice for this, as you can see, this is a new rig to go out, is a Pompig's pink dom washed out style, and it's been basically, I've had it in salt for quite a bit, so it's nice and hard. And yeah, that's all it is. Really simple approach. No fancy tricks really for winter, in all fairness. Singles and bags is generally my approach. Unfortunately not had anything yet, but fingers crossed, you never know, there's a couple of hours to go on today. So yeah, hopefully see if we have anything. Good morning guys. Well, a bit of a mess up really last night. Like a divvy, the night before I went fishing, I decided I'm going to stay up and sort all my gear out till 3 o'clock in the morning. And I've been doing nights and that at work, and mad quick turnarounds and stuff, so I've been absolutely knackered. So I thought, yeah, stay up till 3 sorting my gear out. And I got here and I was pretty knackered, to be honest. So finally, when I got the rods out, managed to get the 3 rods out, 2 bags and a single. Variously, obviously I showed you that in previous videos where I went, but then I thought I'd just sit there and, well, I'll lie there and watch the water for a little bit. So about 5 o'clock, and next minute it was 9 o'clock, and I'd been inspecting the inside of my eyelids for a couple of hours, so I didn't manage to get the rods back out before dark. I wanted to recast the rods before dark and didn't manage to do that, which was a bit of a pain really. Got up at 9 at night then, and sat and watched the water for hours. Didn't see any shoals in my area. Kept an eye on the water, and about 3 o'clock in the morning, because I was still awake, there was a couple of shoals to my right down, possibly swims 3, maybe 4, seemed to have the shoals, and they were quite close in actually. So what I did do then is I set my alarm for 5 o'clock, had a couple of hours sleep, and I chucked a rig to my left hand edge. I got, obviously in swim 1 I've got all the margin swim, and I've had that out there this morning, and then I went to sleep for another hour, and I've been up since probably 6 o'clock, since it was pitch black at 6. But saying that, actually there was enough light to keep an eye on the water and stuff like that, and I've not seen any activity in my area whatsoever. Nothing long where I've got my 2 solid bags, and nothing short. I did creep round there in the edge where I am. It's not in the edge, it's actually where it drops off in the corner, and put a little bit of bait over the top there. but I've not seen anything, no fizzing. The coots have been fighting like America and South Korea all morning, so that's been doing me nothing, because that's obviously quite a lot of disturbance. And there is a few coots up here, so hopefully it's a little bit warmer, so maybe there is some fish holding up here, but got a couple of hours left. Fingers crossed for a bite, but it's winter now and you don't expect to catch on every session, but I've tried. Yeah, we'll see how I get on. I'll give you an update in a bit. I thought what I'd do while I'm just packing up and everything, I'd show you 3 bits of kit that I absolutely love when I'm fishing, and I could do without them, but they're my 3 bits of kit that I absolutely love. The first one is the Thinking Angler's scissors, and what the great thing about these is you've got hook puller in there. I have 2 sets of them. Got hook puller on the end, rig puller as you want to call it. Got a set of strippers as well, and they're a great little pair of scissors. They cut, you know, when you have some scissors you find that they don't cut braid very well, you know, like a soft braid, supple braid. It's a bit of a nightmare to cut, so these are actually really good for that, and they're not expensive. People might say, oh, have you tried these and have you tried that, but I've had quite a few pairs of the Corda ones, which tend to go blunt quite quick. I've had the Avid ones, which are actually really sharp. They seem like copies of the Preston Innovation scissors, really, to be honest, but I've also had the Fox ones and they were dire. They didn't cut braid very well from the out. Maybe I had a bad set, but yeah, it's just a pair of scissors, but great little bit of kit. The next piece of kit that I definitely couldn't do without is my Ridge Monkey. I've got this in 2 sizes. I've got the small one, generally for quick overnighters, and I've got the big one. What's good about this is it's actually a lithium ion battery. So when you see people selling these buckets online and bits and bobs like that, saying, oh yeah, get the bucket and they've got all the switches and stuff like that. 1, it's massive. 2, it weighs a ton. And 3, you're looking at, usually it's a battery out of like a bait boat in that. So you've got like 6 amp hours worth of power. Because these are lithium, they weigh a lot less. And you've got, I think they're about, the big one, this one's a 76 or 78 one, is, I think you've got 24 amp hours there. I use this for work all the time. I don't just use it for fishing. I use it at the caravan for my little lad playing on his iPad, driving in the car, watching films and stuff like that. And it literally lasts me 2 weeks. Like last night I used it charging the camera. I had the camera charging, the lights charging. So you get free, you've got free power, you've got the USB-C as well. So if you've got the new iPhone, you can use your USB-C to your lightning connector, or if you've got like a Samsung and it's USB-C, charges your phone to like 70% in 30 minutes or something like that. So yeah, it's a great bit of kit. Like a lot of people say, oh, get this and get that. You can get cheaper ones, you know, you can buy a cheaper one on Amazon. As long as you get the same mAh, which milliamp hours, that's the capacity of it really. It's a way of measuring the capacity of it. Then you can't go far wrong. But this big and absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it's fairly chunky and that, but I've done a week on the bank with it and never had any issues, and it's come back and I've still got like 3 bars on it, so absolutely brilliant, and I hammer it. The next bit of kit that I love as well is this, the Thinking Angler's Camflex carry-on. I've gone through loads of different luggage over the time, you know what you like. Gone through the stage of wanting matching gear and this, that and the other, but to be honest, I bought this and I was like, ooh, it's a bit small. Because I have the Camflex rod sleeves, I have the top tips for my 10-foot rods and the rod sleeves for me 12-foot rods and my spod rod and bits and bobs. But this has been a game changer for me in the amount of kit that I actually bring, because you can fit absolutely loads of stuff in it. So I generally have my cameras, my GoPro, one of the large Ridge Monkey trays goes in the bottom. It's called a tackle box in it. You can get a rig safe on the top, which is brilliant as well. Rig safe and some PVA. In the front I have all sorts of stuff, boilies, things like that. It stops you turning up and having absolutely monumental amounts of kit with you that you don't generally need. Because how many times do you go fishing and you find you've got 27 different like tubes of PVA and 25 different kinds of bags and 4,000 leads and stuff? So no, it's a really good way of slimming your kit down for 24 hours. I still haven't used half of the stuff that I've got in here, so yeah, no. But thanks for watching, guys, and as I mentioned at the start of the video, I've got if you comment on this video, I'm doing a draw for a lying to you now. I'm doing a draw for a called a tackle box. So if anybody's interested in getting a free number on that, I'm giving one away for anybody who comments on my video. Give us any tips, you know, I'm new to this. And please subscribe, because I need to get 100 subscribers so that I can change because my address for what I type to send me videos out isn't Caravan Carpers at the minute, but when I get 100 subscribers they'll let me personalise that. So if you could subscribe as well, that'd be great. Any suggestions of any videos that you want to do? Obviously it's going to be a little bit slower at the minute because of it being winter, but yeah, no, I love getting out and can't wait to get on the bank again.